What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to lower a Durango. I noticed a lot of you guys was concerned about, you said you already put your springs on, and it settled in, by the way, for a few weeks or months. But some of you guys were saying it's still not low in the rear or in the front. Now, there are some important things you need to know when it comes to lowering a Durango about tire size. Tire size and the wheel setup is very, very important. Now, if you look at mines, we can see how low we are there. Pretty low. This isn't too low to where you need camber kits or any additional parts installed, but it's low enough just to have, a nice looking look, a nice lowered stance. And we'll check out the rear. So as you can see in the rear, we're nice and low, not as low as in the front, but that's perfectly fine because if you put a load in the back in your cargo space, that extra space there will allow for this to drop down, the suspension to get lower. So that's perfectly fine if the front is lower than the rear. It's perfectly normal and it's not by a huge amount. But now let's talk about your tire and wheel setup. It's very important to get the proper wheel and tire setup when you lower your Durango. Now, these wheels are 22 by 10. Now online, when you buy them, they may be listed as 22 by 9, but when you actually measure them, they're 22 by 10. And I will show you that, for example, now. So I'm going to turn the wheel out and measure it and show you guys that this is definitely a true 10-inch wheel. That's a full 10 inches. Full 10 inches. You can see there, we're not cheating. That's a full 10 inches. So it may be listed as a 9-inch wheel if you go to purchase a set of these, but they're actually 22 by 10. Okay, so now my tires are a 265 40 R22. The 265 represents the width of the wheel. So from here to here, that's 265 millimeters. 265, 40, 22. The 40 represents the sidewall, this here, from here to here. So 40% of 265 is 106. So from here to here is 106 millimeters. Now, if you calculate that to inches, that will be 4.17 inches. So from here to here is 4.17 inches. That's as a brand new tire. This is getting old. So it's obviously shrunk down a little bit. But again, that 40 is 40% of 265, which is 106 millimeters. And the 22 is the wheel size, 22-inch wheel. So you got 265, 40, 22. And the R22 represents radial. So when I get new tires on this, I'm going to get a wider width. So I'm going to fill up this little gap here. There's like a small gap, if you can see. There's like a little space in there. So I want this to come out a little bit. So I'm going to go with 275. I'm going to get 275, 40, 22 to fill up that gap. Now, all of this is important to know when you lower a Durango because let's say, for example, I was to go with a 265, 50, 22. So that 50 is going to bring the tire up. So that means there's going to be less room within here, and that can create clearance issues. So again, that's why it's so important to know, have the proper wheel and tire setup. If I was to go with a 50 in the rear, that wouldn't be a big issue because there's a bigger space in the rear. But I want all my tires to be even. So my next set of tires when these wear out is going to be a 275, 40, 22. And as a brand new tire, this is going to be, a little bit bigger anyway, up against, there's going to be a bigger tire. So it's going to be less space in here. So, I mean, all of this is important because if you go with a tire that's too big, you're going to run into clearance issues and it's not going to be good. However, if you get a tire that's too small, then obviously your vehicle isn't going to look like it's lowered, you know. So, I mean, you got to keep that in mind. With this setup, it's like the perfect setup as far as clearance, the look of it. You know, you got the proper look, the proper stance, without any issues, without having to adding any camber kits or anything like that. So again, guys, if you add the iBock Pro Kit to a Durango, make sure your wheel and tire setup is proper. Again, mine's I have the 22 by 10 22-inch wheels, and my tires I'm currently running is 265 40 22. But again, when these wear out, which they're almost wore out, I'm going to go with the 275 40 22, only so I can fill up that little gap right here. So with those 275, that's going to bring the width out a little more. So again, guys, I hope this video helped for any of you that may be having issues with adding the iBock Pro Kit and it's looking like your ride is not lowered. Hope this video helps you out. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We got more great content on the way. I will see you guys in the next video. Alex RT Life signing off.